channel, I wanted to give you a really quick recap. Behind me is our tiny house that we lived in for 2 years. I absolutely love this home. I designed it. We had it built. When we decided to have a baby number 2, or I guess baby number 2 happened, we were like, we can't live in here anymore. We still love the home, so we bought a new house. We live on 3 acres outside of Austin, and we brought the tiny house with us. So for those of you that have followed along, you may or may not have seen that the tiny house flipped over on the way here. It was a really, really dramatic day. I was very, very pregnant, and it was crazy. Anyway, let me show you really quickly our tiny house. It is 2 units pieced together in an L shape. Again, I designed the architecture for this home. This is the living room side. This is a very quick tour. Living room and dining room side. And check this out. Love this door. So it's a very indoor-outdoor home. We like that about it. And lots of airiness, you know, really fun character and design qualities. Color, and that's my favorite thing. Anyway, so then this is the bedroom unit behind me. Right now we're using the tiny home for home office with, you know, being quarantined, for arts and crafts for Sunny, for guests, family members to come and stay, all of that. Eventually and very soon we're going to put this up on Airbnb and let it be a supplemental income for us as a family, which we're very excited about it. But right now, we can't do that yet because we have a problem. You wanna know the problem? Come check out. When we placed this house on this lot, when we looked at the site map, we knew we wanted it right here. We also knew we were probably getting ourselves into a bit of a predicament. We are on a little bit of a flood area right here. As you can see, the hillside dips. We had to cut into the land to get a pad this big for the footprint of the home. So what happens is the water during storms, and y'all know, if you know Texas, like we can have some serious storms around here. The water floods like a creek back here, right onto the tiny house pad. It's an issue, you guys. And then when this mud gets wet, it's like peanut butter and it sticks to your feet. It's not a good situation. So how are we resolving this? We have found a group of guys that are able to build a retaining wall for us and add in a French drain. We're thinking about doing 2 French drains, one on the back side. So the retaining wall is going to go back here, and again, the house is an L shape, so it'll go back here and it'll make an L, so that when that water comes down, this land now is getting pushed back and, you know, preventing erosion. I can't let this pad erode because the tiny house is set on cement blocks. If we get into an issue where the land erodes too quickly, too much, we could have a tipping tiny home again. I can't let that happen. So we're gonna add a retaining wall. And then the French drain system is meant to help with, we're gonna put a French drain on the back of the wall and on the inside of the wall. The one on the back of the wall is gonna be obviously helping with more of that water runoff coming down, but sometimes the water comes in through the underground in the earth, obviously. So we're hoping that that second French drain will pick up an additional part of the rain. We have to do this in order to complete also the landscaping. I can't invest in landscaping out here until we get this problem resolved. Right now it looks like still a bit of a construction zone, but we're so close, and with extra time at home, we're able to tackle this right now, and I'm really excited about it. It's the perfect time to do a landscaping project around the house. I'm thinking that I may take some of the cactus from our 3-acre property and try to dig them up and see what happens, transplant them. I don't know if that'll work or not, but we're gonna find out. I figure it can't hurt. There's some cacti in areas of our yard that we don't want them there anymore, just with babies, and so we're gonna see if we can transplant them onto this lot. So you guys, the next step is for me to go pick out some stone. That's where we're headed next. So come along, I'll show you what I decide on. And you know, a lot of what we have out here is Texas limestone, or Austin limestone is what we call it. I may stick with that because it kind of fits the vibe of the hill countryside. But, you know, maybe I find something a little bit more modern. I don't know, we'll see. All right.
Ready, Sunny Jean? Let's go.
Sunny Jean, let's go.
We're all gonna go look at stone today because it gets us out of the house.
Yeah, get out of
Hey, show everybody our beautiful kitchen. It is funny because of how beautiful the tiny house is.
Yeah, we'll get there. You know, I was just thinking.
We did a video. You did a video on this though. You explained how we bought this place because it's a great location.
Yeah, awesome location.
Property is awesome. It's perfect for the tiny house. But there are things that we want to change, and there are a lot of them.
A lot of them. But you know, I was thinking earlier over at the tiny home. because we did get ourselves into a predicament, but we knew that that was going to be a problem potentially. But one thing I love about design and build is that it is problem solving. Like, design and build is always this constant problem solving. And just because I design for a living doesn't mean that I'm, what's the word? Immune to problems. Like,
a plumber's pipe always leaks.
a plumber's pipe, is that an actual
I
quote?
think so, yeah. You like that?
Yeah, I like that. A plumber's pipe always leaks. Like, so just because I'm in design doesn't mean that we already have everything, like,
Your crap together?
really, we don't have it together around here. But that's what I love, and that's kind of what keeps me jazzed about design and build, is that it is always a constant problem-solving exercise.
You ready?
Ready.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, get some air going. Can I tell that story?
Sure.
It's gonna slide around, isn't it?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, so we're headed to the Stone Place off of 290 to go look at options for the retaining wall. On the way there, I'm going to tell you a story about what happened last night. So Emily from my team and I had to go to Dallas for 2 days. Whew, it's hot. For an install for the Vision Center, which is an optometry doctor office, and they are about to open again because Dallas, we're starting to open things around Texas. We drive a little Honda Accord, is one of our cars. It's a very modest car.
It's a Civic.
Oh. Just kidding.
An Accord would be an upgrade.
This is hilarious because I was gonna tell y'all how proud I am of knowing cars. Okay, so we have a Honda Civic. No, Civic.
Yeah.
You know why I'm saying Accord is because that's what my mom drove. Anyway, someone rear-ended us, or no, bumped the front of our bumper a few weeks ago. Well, it's actually a couple months ago at this point. And so our bumper has been kind of hanging on by a thread. Well, it hasn't really mattered because we're not driving right now. But I did drive the car to Dallas and not really thinking much, oh, it's probably fine. Well, it's not fine. On the way back from Dallas to Austin last night, and it was 9:30, we had the baby with us, 2 girls and a baby. We heard a big pop sound, and I knew immediately something's wrong. I gotta get off. Luckily, there was an exit right here, super quick, big, well-lit gas station. So we pull in, and I love working on cars because my granddaddy built cars. It's sort of in my blood. I was the little girl that played with cars and Barbies and had a fair share of Mattel collectibles growing up. So I'm not afraid to open the hood, even girls by ourselves. I was I got this, It is a little scarier with the baby in the car. But so I popped the hood open, it's not smoking, it's not clicking. I was looking or listening for some kind of belt issue. I didn't know. Thinking okay, we are behind on oil. Went inside, got some oil, turned the engine off, waited for it to cool for 5 to 10 minutes because you're supposed to do that. This doesn't look like the problem. Well, we did there was a point where we were this is not good. It's almost, 10:30. How are we gonna get home? If we have to get towed, we have a baby. So Emily and I said a prayer in the car. And the next thing I know, you guys, this bus pulls up of tons of people heading back to Mexico. And they all come off the bus. It's they're stopping at the gas station for, potty break or something. And they all have masks on. It was funny. It was just funny to see that. And the sweet man and his mom were hanging out outside, probably stretching their legs. And he sees us. And we had already had a couple creepy offers to help us. And I was no, I got it. I'm good. But this guy seemed different. And so I was yeah, if you have any ideas of what it is. So he ends up helping us. No strings attached, super sweet. He checks the oil, he agrees with me, it's fine. He checks the water in the radiator, it's fine. So then we start going back to the issue of the bumper. Now remember I told you that the bumper had been hit. Well, it turns out that the bumper part, some part had snapped and it was hitting the tire, so that was the knocking sound. We go back inside, we buy zip ties, and y'all, we got home in the Honda Civic with a zip-tied bumper. Javier was this gentleman's name, and I tried to give him some cash, just as a token of a thank you. He would not take it, and he said it was from his corazon, his heart. It was a very sweet gesture. The moral of the story is, good people are still in this world. Javier, when he comes back, I got his Facebook info. Maybe he's a forklift driver, and maybe if any of you are construction workers and you need a good forklift driver, I have a really sweet gentleman named Javier that is driving in a bus right now back to Mexico because he doesn't have any work here. He's going to be living in Monterrey. So if you have a job for a forklift driver, please tell me, and I would love to tell Javier I might have a job lead for him. He's a sweet man who just wants to live in the United States.
A sweet story.
Thank you.
Yeah. A long story, but sweet.
Sorry, it was kind of long and winded, but it was
if you're
worth
still
it.
here, you definitely want to be here. What you drinking?
Big swig. Aren't these made in Austin? Yep. You guys, Austin's the capital of amazing hipster drinks.
Hipster drinks.
Well, this kind of pea gravel behind me is perfect for xeriscaping because we don't really want sod over there, and Joshua Tree was always meant to have this sort of desert vibe, so xeriscaping will be great for drought-tolerant Texas heat, low maintenance in terms of, you know, not needing, we don't want to mow over there a lot. This is awesome, y'all. And then this rock was over there. I'm just thinking this could be nice for some of the plant beds to, you know, use kind of little outliners or extra texture and dimension. But see those two together, you see like the color of the rock. This would pair really well with the limestone I just showed you to keep it just really light and deserty.
We got Torchy's Tacos. This is the end of the video. This video is sponsored by Torchy's Tacos. Thank you for all the annual revenue, Torchy's.
For those of y'all that don't know, I designed Torchy's. Also, we stopped at the local antique dealer because he opened again and I've actually never been able to go in there. And I bought this. His name was David, super sweet owner. He only wanted $20 for this, which I told him was ridiculous, and I gave him $30. How cool is this piece? It's gonna go on our wall. And he was very optimistic, but also had been very hurt business-wise by the, you know, all the quarantine stuff. So I just spoke some words of truth and wisdom and encouragement into him. And Joey patiently waited in the car for 20 minutes, and I came out smiling ear to ear, and he said, "You just witnessed to that guy, didn't you?" And I said, "Yes, amen, I did. I just spoke some encouragement into that sweet little guy." Point of this story also is, y'all, there are a lot of strangers in your life. Make them friends. And David's our new friend, and, you know, encourage those around you. We all need it right now, y'all. We all need it. How cool is this? And I got a cool tapestry. On that note, we're going to go eat lunch. Oh, and on that note, please come back next week. We will keep design content coming. Next week, I'll probably be showing you the Vision Center, which is a new retail space that I just did, maybe some tips. And I also have some ideas on how you can do affordable things around your home because someone asked me for that, and that's an awesome subject. So we'll get to that next. Love you guys. Have an awesome week. See you next week.